Call the meeting to order and ask somebody.
Councilor Weaver.
Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Councilor Brown.
Here.
Councilor Weaver.
Here.
Councilor Broughton. Councilor Watson.
Here.
Councilor Barton.
Here.
Mayor Lovelace.
Here.
We have a quorum to do business.
I'd like to approve the minutes of the January 13th meeting.
Mayor, I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 13th meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Watson, second by Councilor Barton to approve the minutes of the January 13th council meeting. Is there any discussion, any changes to be made? Hearing none. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Weaver?
Yes.
Councilor Watson?
Yes.
Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries and the minutes are approved.
I'd like to welcome our visitors here today. We appreciate y'all all being here. First item is a proclamation. I'm going to read the proclamation to Regina Watson first, and then I'll ask you to come forward and I'll present it. Proclamation in recognition of Regina Watson's service to Brewton City Schools. Whereas serving as a school board member is a noble act, and whereas Regina Watson is about to begin her 7th year of service to the Brewton City Schools, and whereas Regina Watson selflessly sacrifices countless hours training and planning, and whereas Regina Watson is steadfast in her support of the staff and students of the Brewton City Schools, whereas Regina Watson brings outstanding morals, character, and candor to the board table, and whereas Regina Watson's influence on the Brewton community will long endure through the lives of the many students who benefited from her decisions and actions as school board members, now therefore be it proclaimed that on January 27, 2020, the City Council of the City of Brewton, on behalf of the citizens of Brewton, hereby acknowledges and celebrates the contributions and faithful service of Regina Watson by recognizing her selection as an AASB All-State School Board Member Award recipient, proclaimed this 27th day of January 2020. Ashley, please come forward.
What I'm looking at, Sherry. Come on over. I'm trying to look at that at you.
And stop right meeting from there. And this is not going to be this or and take as many pictures, maybe Joe or whoever you want to have pictures.
Joe,
Come on, it'll come out.
council, everybody, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Besides, I know Joe's going to go right there. Yeah, that's good. That's a tough job. Whoops, I'm so sorry. It's on the school board.
Good board.
Pictures of the, Okay, you're paying. Sure you put it here on. Passes. We passed it. We just want to do 2 more votes. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
Let me get one from this angle and move over here. One, two,
Put me on the spot like that.
Steal that back and fix it. And
I appreciate it.
I'll send it home by Joe.
All right, thank you.
Take it back.
And the last item, which would be item M, to add to the agenda, would be approval of Bill Salter contract, which I guess would be what, resolution 20-0127-4?
-4.
Okay. Now we'll report. Now we'll reconvene the meeting. The next item is another proclamation, which I'll just read. Proclamation in recognition of Kids to Parks Day in the City of Brewton. Whereas May 16th, 2020 is the 10th Kids to Parks Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the third Saturday of May. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit America's parks, and whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks, and whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the issues of childhood obesity, diabetes, melanitis, and I'm not sure I pronounced that right, hypertension, and whereas Kids to Parks Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group of participants, and whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and outdoors, and now therefore the City Council of the City of Brewton does hereby proclaim to participate in Kids to Parks Day. The City Council urges residents of the City of Brewton to make time on May 16, 2020 to take children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park. Proclaimed the 27th day of January, 2020. Next item is I will call on Matt Sasser to give, with our contract with Provalus, there are certain financial obligations that they are required to meet, and Matt Sasser's firm checks their figures and reports to the council.
Yeah, I thought the easiest thing to do, since I've not presented this yet, is to read the section 3.6, which is part of the project development agreement signed between the City of Brewton and Optimi, which is the parent company Provalus, and it's regarding a certain level of working capital that's required. Section 3.6 reads as follows: during all periods of each reporting year, the company covenants that it will maintain a working capital balance as reflected on its customarily prepared balance sheet equal to the greater of $350,000 or 10% of the city's aggregate cost of construction of the facility as of the most recently completed calendar quarter. The company shall provide the city with internally prepared financials within 30 days at the end of each quarter, and CPA-reviewed annual financial statements within 180 days of the end of the company's fiscal year. So we were engaged as an independent party to correspond with Optimi, their CFO. They send the financials to us on a quarterly basis. we look at the working capital, we do a calculation, and we compare it to the covenants in Section 3.6 of the agreement. We've done so every quarter since the agreement was signed, I believe, in July of 2017. The last statements that we received were for the quarter ended September 30th of 2019. At that time, Optima was in compliance, as it has been every quarter, and well within compliance. And the metric that we're still using this time is $350,000 because we've not exceeded the other number, which is the 10% of the construction cost. So until that time happens, the requirement, according to Section 3.6, is $350,000. And through September 30th, 2019, they've been in compliance every quarter and well within compliance.
And the next time it's anything would be due would be year end.
Well, that's right.
A month or so away before we get there.
Well, we'll actually corresponded with them last week just to let them know that we were going to bring this up before the council. We will get internally prepared financials in the next week or two, more than likely, which will be year end. Those will be preliminary because they obviously, in addition to those, the requirement is that we get CPA reviewed financials within 180 days of calendar year end. So we will get internal financial statements soon for the calendar year end, but it will be updated with the review within 180 days. So.
Okay. Any questions for me? Thank you, Matt.
You're right.
Councilman Watson had to leave on a personal matter.
Noted.
The next item, we had a term to come up on the water board, and I call on Councilman Weaver.
The committee made up of Cheryl Barton and I recommend Richard Lynn to be reappointed to the water board.
In the form of the motion.
I'll make a motion to be reappointed.
And I second it.
Motion by Councilor Weaver, second by Councilor Barton, to appoint Richard Lynn as water board member. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Weaver?
Yes.
Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the appointment of Richard Lynn to the water board is approved.
Next item, Brewton Public Library Board members, and I'll call on Councilor Brown.
Yes, a committee of Feast Broughton and myself, we'd like to make a motion for Mr. Adam Powell and Mrs. Karen Butler-Witt have agreed to both continue in their service on the library board.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Brown, second by Councilor Weaver, to appoint Karen Witt and Adam Powell to the Brewton Public Library Board. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Weaver?
Yes.
Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and Karen Witt and Adam Powell are appointed to the Library Board.
Next item is the Housing Authority, which are mayoral appointments, and I reappoint Robert Hardy as the chair and appoint Marcus Hall as the vice chair.
I second.
It's just a mayoral appointment.
Okay.
The next item, we have a vacancy, or not a vacancy, but a term expiring on the medical board, and I appoint Councilor Barton and Councilor Broughton to a committee to come up with that person. Next item, we have 3 pieces of real estate to purchase on St. Nicholas Avenue. That's Resolution 20-0127.
I'm going to motion to approve Resolution 20-0127.
Second it.
Motion by Councilor Brown, second by Councilor Barton to approve resolution number 20-0127. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Weaver?
Yes.
Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to purchase real estate at 205 204 and 208 St. Nicholas Avenue is approved.
The next item is to declare a piece of equipment as surplus property. That's Resolution 20-0127-1, and that is 2 Cumming generators, a John Deere, and that's a
ProGator.
sprayer?
ProGator and sprayer.
ProGator and a sprayer, whatever a ProGator is.
Motion to approve Resolution 20-0127-1.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Barton, second by Counselor Weaver, to declare personal property in 2 Cummings generators, 11,250 kilowatt generators, and 1 John Deere ProGator with sprayer. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the surplus personal property is approved.
In the past, on Dogwood Hills, we had had Bob Carter with GMC as the engineer. Bob Carter is now retired, and so this would be appointing Russell Holland with Southern Engineering Solution for the service agreement, which would provide engineering service facilitates the development of the real property that said we originally called the Technology Park at Dogwood Hill for a sum not to exceed $25,000.
Motion to approve Resolution 20-0127-2.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Brown, second by Counselor Barton to approve resolution number 20-0127-2. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to approve an agreement with Southern Engineering Solutions at Brewton Technology Park is approved.
Each year, I think it's 6 months or so many months before, and this meeting, the council has to determine the salaries of the next elected mayor and council. So the first item is a resolution appointing the mayor as gas superintendent.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 20-0127-3.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Weaver, second by Counselor Brown to approve resolution number 20-0127-3. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to appoint the mayor as gas superintendent is approved.
The next is to approve the compensation for the mayor and council. And this is an ordinance which requires a 3-step, so it's ordinance number 20-0127.
Motion to introduce ordinance number 20-0127.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Brown, second by Counselor Weaver to introduce ordinance number 20-0127. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and ordinance number 20-0127 is introduced.
I make a motion for immediate consideration of ordinance number 20-0127.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Weaver, second by Counselor Brown for immediate consideration of ordinance number 20-0127. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Mayor Lovelace?
Yes.
The motion carries, and ordinance number 20-0127 is immediately introduced.
Motion to approve ordinance number 20-0127.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Brown, second by Counselor Barton, to approve ordinance number 20-0127. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the ordinance to establish the compensation for the mayor and council for the coming elected council and mayor is approved.
The last item, we have an ongoing contract with Red Square Advertising. And if you notice right now, the new colors and wording on the banners in Brewton, that's from Red Square Advertising, and some of the giveaway things that we give. And they're doing redoing our stuff on our webpage and our Facebook pages. The next item they've drawn up is for 5 billboards. And you'll see a lot of blue, and people ask me about why all the blue. It's the 40th anniversary of the Blueberry Festival here in Brewton, and so there's going to be a big celebration this summer that the Chamber will be putting on, celebrating that 40th anniversary. But this is a contract for those advertising with Bill Salter Outdoor Advertising for 5 different billboards, one in Greenville, one in Cantonment, one in Berrydale, one in East Brewton, one in Brewton. The total of those is $1,755 a month for 12 months. And that's resolution 20-0127-4.
Motion to approve ordinance number 20-0127.
-4. -4.
-4, excuse me.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Brown, second by Counselor Barton, to approve resolution number 20-0127-4. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the billboard resolution is approved.
Meeting is adjourned. I didn't mean to adjourn the meeting. I wanted to read something first. Got a little ahead of myself. As we know, today was the day that they held a celebration of life for former Mayor Ted Jennings. And I wanted to read this tribute to Ted Jennings that was part of that program. But this is written to comprise the feelings of everyone reading it. Ted was truly a rambling man, as we all saw on Facebook. As much as he loved Brewton, he understood the meaning of immersing yourself in different cultures. From hiking part of the Appalachian Trail to snowmobiling in Yellowstone and then horseback riding along the beaches of Cancun, he has certainly done it all. It goes without saying, Ted believed in Auburn and loved it. He attended football, basketball, softball, baseball, and horse sports.
Equestrian.
Equestrian, that word is hard for me. Whether Auburn was #1 in the polls or lucky to even have a team that year, Ted was there supporting. Ted has always been a special person to all of us. He was a very unique person. Ted did not hunt, he did not fish, and he was not necessarily a handyman. But Ted could definitely run a city. While most of us try to avoid politics, he thrived in it. It was his hobby and passion. If there is a city council in heaven, I am sure he is already networking to run for mayor. Ted is going to be greatly missed by all of us. If his memory doesn't spark laughter inside you, you didn't know him well enough. Above all, his greatest love and passion was Susan. And she writes, I quote, "I will miss our adventures together the most. I will miss the man who taught me so much about life. But most importantly, I will miss the man who loved me unconditionally." So on behalf of the city, it is a great loss to our community. Mayor Jennings did a wonderful job for 24 years as our mayor, and he was a good friend of mine. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting.